All right, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. There, okay. So this is our week 13 kind of meet up, okay, for our lecturing class. All right. Normally, okay, in lecturing class, as I've mentioned, as I actually have been mentioned for you guys, okay. Normally, there, okay. What I'm actually going to be practically are going to be uh, doing basically in our class. In my class, okay, especially already, I'm going to do some consultations, some answering questions, and more sharings basically already. And also the attendance for my classes still compulsory because I have to gather all those whatever that I can for my information today in order to make sure that the students still exist until the end of the week there, okay, until the end of the final weeks there. Because otherwise the issues that we have normally, okay, because I already record for you guys and I already informed for you guys, okay, previously in our classes there. Um, Most of the students actually always concerned about the attendance there, but they don't actually really take serious on complete the assignment and also exercise works. So what basically made the things are going to be complicated for them, not for us, is when we actually didn't actually receive any kind of complete works, okay, from our students there. It means that they not actually put their interest in their works, and they actually allow them to fail the subjects. You actually the one who actually allow yourself to fail, because we only remind you guys, and what are the things that actually you have, everyone has to be aware and take more serious kind of notes is most of our sessions we've been recorded there, and also I put it into our YouTube directly. So whatever things that we actually have raised for you formally or briefly, and also video recording directly sessions there, everything can be proved to make sure that we actually have informed you guys and also warn you guys to take serious on both kind of criteria there in order for you guys to pass. Okay? Because basically design subjects is really easy to pass there. Really. It's not like you taking some exam there or whatever things that you need to do there. But it's all about doing the works there. That's all. Okay? So that's why some people think design classes is quite easy. Some people think. And they're taking too easy directly. They're taking too easy directly until they let themselves drowning and also fail the subjects there. For me, that stupidity. Okay? For me, that's stupidity there. Because you take for granted there, okay? You have the privilege to pass, and you have also the advantage to score the subjects there. And in illustrations, you have a various type of way to score basically. We are not using only one particular kind of milestone, also rubrics to make sure that you pass. Okay? Because one of the most important thing that you have considered to understand there, if you complete all the exercise, I remind you guys back again, if you complete all those exercise there, the rubrics basically I don't have to put it to one page there. Everything is here. How many drawings basically you need to complete for each week? Everything's there. I already told you guys. Simple, correct? Because if you actually write even though you actually are not a straight A student, like I am, can understand. I'm not a straight A student. I told you guys before, right? I'm actually at the lowest kind of student actually, right? Who get a very highest numbers in every of my exam when I was school, right? If there is a 40 student in our class, I'm actually the 40 student there, right? That's the reality there. Okay? So, but as I say, you don't have to you don't have to be a straight A student when you was at a high school, SPM or PMR or PT3. You need to understand this kind of evaluations. There. Is it right? If I ask you guys to draw 10 drawings, and if you see directly that I draw more than 10 drawings here, you should do more. You should do more because you should know where you can get from there. All right. That's why people always say it's a little bit subjective, but it's not. Design is very subjective. How we know actually right, we do we make it right or not? You guys are not blind. You guys were not deaf, and you're not basically okay. Right. So whatever that we do, visually, you should understand how it works. But the difference is how and why and when actually you need to develop that kind of understanding is all up to you. Okay? You already know the answers there. I don't like practice, I didn't focus. If we ask the same questions like in each individual step. But everyone have their different skills that can be used to develop into illustration books. Don't be someone else there. If you cannot become an anime or manga kind of artist, wanna be at the moment, be yourself that is. But you have to train yourself exactly as what I told. All the video that I showed were basically the things that you should follow there. If you can follow exactly what I told, you will be good there, right? And you can actually grow yourself later on there, okay? But use your mind and head, brain to think. All right? Don't put your lack of responsibility of your own actions to blame someone else. Okay? Always blame ourselves if you not make it right. And if you have covered the whole thing, you have to push yourself there. Right. For examples, if I'm actually what we call that, have a difficulty to improve my drawings there as a student, right? I've done everything that I can. What are the things that I can do? Learn from the lecturers. Ask the lecturers what are your mistakes. Open up your mind for any criticisms. All right. And then look into more reference. Draw more. Draw more. Draw more. Draw more there, right? Okay. Practice, draw, practice, draw, practice, draw until you will find the improvement from that practice. But make sure you follow exactly what we have taught. Simple step. A lot of people cannot change their mind. They assume that they can actually do it because they thought whatever they're doing actually right. If you have that kind of skills that can develop that kind of understanding, you can go for it. But if you think you need more attention and improvement and focus on your works, follow exactly what we say. And I actually agree. Some people need more kind of physical, face-to-face kind of interactions there. Like, like me also there, okay, I actually have this kind of in theory before there, okay, which I actually right afraid to ask questions. Like when I want to ask questions, I feel a bit more like like nervous, right? Nervous, right? No, it's a normal kind of feelings. Even though when I actually go into any kind of conference, there's a lot. There's one, two speakers actually quite more. What we call that stand out than me. They're writing. I will be a little bit more nervous. Okay, if I want to ask any questions. Now, it's a normal thing, but don't be afraid to fight that kind of feelings there, because you already know okay what you want there. Okay, even though ask silly questions also can, make some jokes also can. Don't worry there, right? You will overcome a bit more on your nerve system there, right? Your nervous system that you can actually control a bit more there. Right? Those are the things. All right. That's why, or basically, the right. This is a normal thing there, but you have to find your own kind of way of the dragon. Way of the dragon there, right? You have to be yourself as a as the one who actually want to seek for the lessons there, right? You have to act yourself like a warrior there, right? That you train yourself to be survive in the war in the future is there, right? Those are the things and knowledges of that. Okay, everyone have their own fight. You have to learn to be prepared, right? Even though you don't prepare, you have to learn to overcome them back. All right, guys. So the samples were there. Right? If you ask me how many works that you have to do, you ask yourself back again, how much is enough for you? Okay, how many works that will be enough for you to develop yours? You cannot actually assume you do one or two drawings that you can become pro. You ask most of your friends, like maybe Penny, for example, there, like Marissa, maybe I haven't seen Marissa kind of latest kind of works yet, right? But I just assume because I know that she can draw also well already. Penny is one of them already. I can saw that one of the guy there already who actually have 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 what we call have discussed with me a lot, okay, to improve his skills there before. Right, okay, Gilson, I don't know that Gilson there. Okay, hopefully you can improve a bit more from there. I haven't seen your latest work also there. Okay, I'll keep to saw to develop that. Okay, and I saw also who is it? Okay, yesterday actually someone actually my social media. Uh, I don't know who is it. Get back. Um, Hiram. Oh, I don't know right. So I saw his social medias. Basically, is quite in Instagram. Maybe the drawing is quite okay, but I don't know what basically he will be served, right? Whether he can be served in the right way or not. Okay, for his kahuang, sorry, kahuang. Okay, I just want to share with you guys. Okay, one of your friends was. And I saw kahuang actually draw all this kind of anime, manga kind of stuff. Even though the proportions, kahuangs have to be careful with it. Some of the proportions not that right, but it can be improved there. It's a good start there. Okay, the hands proportion there, see. Your hands doesn't look sexy enough there as a girl, right? But it's a good start there, okay? But don't just stop there. Push a little bit more. Push a little bit more. Drawing women, I believe, as a man, is not that easy. But you have to push a bit more from there. Okay? Practice more. Draw full figures there. Full figures there. Whole bodies there to draw. Practice a little bit more. And always have your sketchbooks along. Always there, right? Don't rely on working with the computers only there, okay? Buy sketchbooks at least every semester. You have one personal sketchbooks that you guys can actually write, develop your skill, put everything over there. Reference, research, whatever that you like, whatever that thing that you want to draw, go ahead there, okay? I even have this one there, okay, as my reference that if I'm using, but I haven't used them. Maximize using this kind of model basically, okay, to do my works there, okay, because I'm too busy with you guys, right, with the students there, right, okay. So those are the things that you have to remember there, okay, to works. So practice and practice that. Those are the tips only. Okay? You have to be good. Don't chase for the marks there, even though you need the marks there, right? Okay? But if you actually just chase the marks, okay, draw 10 only, okay, lah, right? But you don't know whether you actually doing in the right way, or you don't know, or you don't concern about your kind of improvements there. The marks is only the mark, right? Okay? I evaluate based on what I show, what I actually have shared with you guys. Those are the things that I write. And I even actually share some of the works that I've done for animation students. Right? This is the work that I've done for my animation students. I'm teaching animation also at the same time. All right. So this is something that we actually have done before in our class. Right. And I've done a lot of this kind of anime, manga, chibi, card drawings. So yeah, the fundamental understanding that you have to be improved is your own drawing skill, how you draw, how you design the structures, how you create those anatomies there, the positioning, right? All those kind of things there. And seek for more information by research on the YouTube. Okay? Right, guys? Your studies, our lessons are not going to stop until week 14. Remember that. A lot of people there, okay, whatever they've learned from first semesters, when they get the marks, they close the books and they hopefully they can actually learn new things. You're not actually going to learn new things there. You only learn the new kind of way of working. But the things that you are going to face are going to be related and almost the same. You actually going to develop your kind of understanding how to work with those element and principle of design and multimedia kind of approach or multimedia kind of discipline there. Remember that. You are going to play around with this element and principle of design until you're graduated, right? But the platform, the way that you approach is using multiple kind of platform there, okay? Discipline there. You're using videos, using animation, using design, you combine it together with visual effects, web design, with the layout, compositions, infographics, and play with those and apply those element and principle of design together. Remember what I say here? If you can't remember, okay, open up back again my YouTube channel and check back again what basically I've been talking about there. Okay? Remember that. Until you graduate, until you do your works, or you're going to apply, or you're going to do your own business there, okay? Always set your mind to become your own kind of boss, or you want to develop also your own company or business or brand there. Don't just think that you want to work for other people's there. Even though we need to learn, we still going to work for other people's there. Even though we do some business, we are going to serve people's there, okay? But you have to bear in mind, put your passions, your works. That will help you to grow more from there. Obstacles always there. You ask your parents there, right? You ask your parents or any friends actually graduating, They always have their obstacles there. It's a normal thing. But the only thing that you need to understand is how you overcome them, how you develop that kind of understanding when you do those works, how passionate you enjoy your work. I'm enjoying myself sharing with you guys here. But the problem is only 2% respond to me here, right? Those are the things that challenge me. Right? Remember that, right? Okay? If you were me, you're talking to myself all the time without any response from you guys. What do you feel? Feel weird there, right? Right. Those are the things. All right. So any questions there? Any question regarding to our assignments? Anything you want to ask me? Anything there about life, about careers, future careers, about where you want to go. Personal, don't ask me here. Ask personal message. Okay? Normally, if you don't ask the questions, I assume that you understand. And you also understand your kind of, what we call that, your own kind of positions there. Right? You already know the answers there. Normally, everyone know the answers there. The challenge is how are you going to fight your own ego? Everyone have their own egos there. But how you are going to fight your own egos, overcome it there. Third, can draw half body in some fish for our pictures. What do you mean? Can draw half body in some fish for our picture books. What do you mean by that? Can you show us the samples then? Okay, I did actually give some advice on Saturday, right? On Saturday, how to draw these characters there. Who actually designed these characters for the children books? For the third assignments? The cat samurai? Who is it? So I give a little bit good impact and good advice, right? For to design that characters there. So if you can improve there, go ahead. When it comes to children's books, illustrations or comic there, okay, yes. Because you are going to play with a lot of what you call that. Let me say your compositions there. How many the size are going to be around what 12 by 12 inch, right? 150 dpi is the minimum there size. Okay. Okay, let's just say right here the bleed. Remember that the bleed there, right? Okay? So that means select this areas here. And let's just say I'm going to, this is basically the bleed basically, okay? The bleed is for you want to draw your characters inside the pages there, right? I don't know whether this is the right BLI, BLI, DE, to do the right thing. So, don't take right, so you sketch it out your ideas there, right? And let's just say, you have to sketch your ideas here. So the cat samurai right here, for example, there. Like this one. See, right, how actually I sketch it up this. sketch our ideas there. This is what sketches are. This is how you plan, for example, direct. So the what we call that, the bandana, and so the some of the things that actually they're actually not important. You can actually just draw them outside the box there, outside the grid there. Okay? So let's just say this is the landscapes. Okay, these are going to be the bad guy, for example, there, right? It has a very huge kind of what we call that. Kind of what we call a sword there, right? For example, so it can be like this one there. So we using our compositions that based on this symmetrical kind of balance there, asymmetrical kind of balance there. Okay. So what else from here? So you're going to draw some mountains, clouds there, right? Right? And give some space there on your words there. So this is also one of the good positions that you can apply there. All right. You're going to learn more about these cinematographies and compositions, hopefully, okay, when you actually learn some of the subjects there. I believe that you have that, I think, like, I don't know what kind of subject, actually. I can think about it, right? But there is a few subjects so they have to learn of all these kind of compositions. Okay. I think one of the subject is the art appreciation thing, right? Compositions, like not draw like this, but the composition, basic composition there. But you can apply like this one. This is what we apply for. Okay. And of course, one of the good way for you to learn also about composition by reading comics. Right? And do some research on children books there. That's what I say there, right? Okay. Let's just say comic panels. Right. There's a lot of way of working with that. You watch comic panels there, they have this one. Okay, this is like comic panels there, the old comic panels there. This one, sketch. Every one single panel also can be defined. Okay, but for me, okay, at your kind of stage, right, look into more kind of a good quality kind of content page there. Okay, but the thing is that you need to do other than just improve your compositions and your layout, basically is your drawing now. That's why for me, right, 14 weeks or 10 weeks or 12 weeks is not enough to get everything if you actually doesn't do a lot of exercise, right? And you don't actually practice also on your own, right? Right. Don't worry about the perspective kind of all this kind of learning experience, right? Nowadays, there's a lot of way for us to execute our understanding on the perspective itself. Right? The most common problem that we have, basically, the drawing skills. Drawing skills, right? Drawing skills there. Because a lot of people always over expected their drawing skills there. They thought they're doing right, but they are not. Those are the saddest thing that I find there. They don't even have the awareness that they should draw more. They don't do it by practice there. They just think. They thought and think in the early stage, in the early years there. I don't think much there. I go for it there. We think along the way. We think what we want to do, what we can improve, how we can improve along the way. Right? I have one friend. He's now actually he's a professional doodler, right? Doodles artist. Right? When I saw him first, now he's making his own toy. All right, he's an independent kind of artist. He doesn't have any kind of steady salaries. Okay, most of you guys want to have a steady salary, right? Even though you're actually still young, right? It's good, but this guy doesn't have any steady salaries. When I saw him, meet him basically, he joined one of the workshop that I did with my old buddies directly about comic directly, about comics bookshop directly, independent comic bookshop there. So we've been actually hired and also been commissioned by it's one of the organizations there, still there, right? Okay, Perbadanan Kota Buku. I'm not promoting them there yet because they don't actually have any contract with me to pay those profit directly for other things there. Other projects. Maybe in the future, then maybe there. Maybe in the future, right? But okay, what are the things that I want to tell you? Okay, when I saw him first, directly, when I first saw him, um, I think around 2013, if I'm not mistaken, 2013, maybe there. Okay, when I first saw him there. He's not actually quite, he liked cartoon very much there, but he cannot draw real figures there. But his cartoon is a bit more like a doodle cartoon. He has books. He has books and also some independent comic that they call like this is comic there. Bujang cartoon there. Can I click this one there? Bujang cartoon there. Okay. This I mixed up with okay, this is the one. This is one of his earlier kind of works. Right, this is one of his earlier kind of. It's more like a local kind of styles, the Malaysian kind of styles. This is one of his earlier kind of comics there, but he's really productive. He will draw every day, right? He will draw a lot. He make a living doing caricatures, doing doodles, doing some commissions kind of doodles there, doing some wall drawing paintings there, right? Okay. He's a full-time artist, a doodle artist. Very rajin, right? So we have a few kind of people actually right here. Okay, this is one of my students' works. He's from TAUC also, Emery. He's very talented there. When I saw him and teach him actually right here in our watercolor classes, wet media classes there, he already know how to draw. And I just asked him directly, just do whatever that you like, but using my own kind of lessons there. So the technique that I show, you have to implement. That's all. So he's actually, even though he can draw well, right? He never learns with me there. Because he know what he know basically I also can do. But I'm actually have to follow and also teach, not based from what he know only. I want to teach for most of the person who don't know how to draw. I have to show them the right kind of techniques. He actually already know how to draw. So there is no problem with him to follow my kind of module directly. But the rest of the class who actually have the difficulty to draw, even though want to move their pencils and control the pressures in the right way, you have to learn the fundamental first. You cannot become him because you don't even can handle basically the struggles, the efforts that he has. Okay? So that's why you need to understand your level of skill that you can actually apply for your assignments. But make sure you do enough research to work on that. This is some of the work that I've done before using various type of stuff here. If you look at me directly, I'm not master reader, okay, but I develop myself into the various type of styles there. So it's just like if I'm going to war as a warrior, right? I try to develop different kind of skills there. Combat, using weapons, using guns there. And some of the weapons I try to be like a spy, sneak out, right? I develop all these multiple kind of discipline there. That's what we call multimedia, right? Multimedia, remember? Right. So I develop myself like that. But it takes so many years and I'm still developing more. So for me, don't restrict yourself to work with only one particular style. You will be loose directly because if you say, oh, I only love anime, manga style therapy, yes, you can go for it. But make sure you can do more better than the most of anime or manga styles therapy artists. Okay? Make sure you can actually do more better than this one. Alright? Because I also have this kind of what we call that. We can actually go through with this one, okay? But the problem is we don't want to trace. The thing that I've learned right now, I teach you guys to draw on top of the reference and then practice your hand to draw first. If you want to learn to trace, everyone can trace. Your grandparent also can trace if they want to. So learn tracing is, for me, not for me, okay, for our lessons, it's a part only, it's a 1 or 2% only to develop your skills. The thing is right now, learning the understanding, the fundamentals there, how to draw without tracing. How to draw without tracing there, but you can copy exactly there. Okay? That's what you have to consider. So a lot of people try to, but they don't understand the fundamental that they have to develop from there. Those are the most common mistakes that you have to be aware of, okay, and concerned and realize that now. The challenge is not going to be easy. The journeys are not going to be easy. And it's not meant for the weak hearted. You have to be more tough, more prepared, right? To fight for it. Okay? Ask yourself, are you guys willing to fight? Someone else behind you basically have worked hard for you to be in this level, in this stage. Someone there, okay? Your parents. Your parents have worked hard for you. If your parents support you directly. If you work on yourself, I totally respect that. But if most of you guys still have the support for your parents, from your parents, You ask yourself, are you ready, willing to fight for it? To fight for your sacrifices? Ask yourself that. Okay? Make sure it's worth it, okay? So I'm not actually saying everyone should apply this one. Remember, right, John Bergerman? Those are one of the criteria that you guys can go from there. But in the right kind of way of working. But don't put it as to the escapism. Try to draw like this, right? If you dare, if you can draw like him, go for it. Right. John Bergerman, who else there? Mm, Jeremy Will is one of them also. Right? He's also, right, if you take a look at this guy, kind of color combinations there, he used a very naturally kind of color code for his work there. Color code there, right? Remember, right? Color generators there. For someone who actually doesn't came to my lecture class before, or maybe like the Saturday class before, the color generators, right? To generate the right kind of color for each scene, each page for your works there. You use only a few colors right here, just to add it up, right? And do more research also, right? You see this, he's using also color generators there. But I believe he's using, at the first time, he's using a color generators. But right now, most of us actually, right, have create our own color combinations there. And don't ever you guys delete your progress, your process. I have one of our student here, your friend, yesterday, I think, right? He told me that, okay, how actually I can get the right colors there, right? Because I try, still cannot get it right. How much time do you try there? Do you ever actually write, save all the errors that you do, and then you look back again and change? A lot of people just delete the files there. That's the most common mistake. Those are the mistakes there. Don't delete your files there. Whatever that you guys have been done as a progress, leave it there, save into JPEG file, submit to our folders there. I want to see your progress. At this stage, we want to see those progress there. How ugly your work is, don't delete your works. All right? Don't delete your works there. Put it right here, right? Okay? People don't want to see only the beauty, the aesthetical value of your works. People want to see your progress. I personally want to see your progress because I want to give those marks. I want to make sure that the students will improve that. This is one of the comics that I actually just playing around there. Okay? And I haven't finished this comics also. But this is one of the first time I'm using Photoshop that seriously. Okay, I'm doing this one, I think around 1999, before I graduated. If I'm not mistaken, or maybe 2001 or 2002, I can't remember. 2003, yeah. Yeah, 2003. So don't delete your work there, okay? I have it, okay? Because sometimes we don't have to complete the whole story there. I just want to experiment there, okay? The works. Okay? That's how actually you guys can improve. This is some of the animal characters that I put in Photoshop. If you guys want to learn all these kind of tricks, prepare for next semester, hopefully. Hopefully. Okay. But if I'm not around maybe to teach you, you have to learn by yourself. But I did actually show you guys all the chapters there before. Lasso tool, paint inside those selection tools there, use different brushes and experiment them. create different layers if you want to. My techniques is simple thing, but it's really effective for professional works. Right? It's also some of the progress works that I actually have cannot save because my machine before actually I move out, then basically there's a corruptions. So those are the books that I have to create. Is some of the commissions works that I've done before, right? Okay, so you have to be more aware, right? This is some of the cartoon styles of strips, cartoon style that I try to use to work there. I even draw my face there, and some of my bodies there, right? So background design, but using AI illustrators. This illustration, I'm using illustrators. This one, I'm using illustrators too. Adobe illustrators. This one also using Adobe illustrators. Okay? Graphic design. This comic, basically, I'm using illustrators. Fully illustrators. Okay? I sketch a roughly sketch. I'll work on that. And some of the children's books illustrations that have been published already. So there's a lot of things that you have to go from here. You just have to enjoy the ride. So my Facebook's basically it's just like an amusement park for me, playground. I play around. I play with emotional. I play with some fun things. I post some of the things that I find quite interesting for me to share. Those are the things that I do for. Nothing serious there. Basically, it's nothing serious there. People take serious on the social media, but not me. Okay? Look that serious, but it's not the right thing. It's a part of the playground for me. Okay? This is some of the works that I've done before. I don't know whether you guys are aware or not. Okay? I'm drawing on the floppy disk. You know floppy disk? The diskette there, right? I paint it up. I play with it. So I playing with all this kind of monster element again, just to ease my mind, right? This is some of the things that we have done with one of the character design communities. Okay, back in the days there. This is where I promote myself before this. Okay, nowadays the Mojizu is not, it's not anymore. Right? It's been closed. But that was the day that because I met a few kind of online friends over here. We did actually having fun creating some of the characters there, right? Okay, just to promote ourselves. Right? I've enjoyed myself. Okay, just playing there. Okay, not put serious on that. So that's when I actually get all those kind of response and build up those confidence to create more and more and more from there. So social media basically, right, if you want to create your own confidence, let's just say I always condemn your works there, and you feel that what you do is right. Okay, the thing that you should do that I always do when I was learning right before, but there's no social media lah. I will take those challenges there. What my lectures say, I take those challenges, I prove them wrong. So I fight in a more positive way. But I'm actually enjoying myself grinding all those kind of uh, developments there on myself. I actually love that kind of things. So when we have some people actually right give a very good kind of comment, like people around the world there, when they give you guys a very good positive comment, that means you're in the right way, right path there, right? You don't need those certificates, you don't need those kind of recognitions there from any government directly, organizations to know that you're doing the right way, the right. You just have to follow your heart, but you have to do it the right kind of research and practice there. That's how it goes. Okay, this is some of the publications from Singapore there, okay, who actually published my works there. It's also one of the recognitions there, okay, that people accept our works there. It's called using AI. I'm actually into AI back in the days, but nowadays I felt a bit kind of tedious there. But it's good there, okay, depending on the projects. Some doodle line, some what we call that prototypes of the books that I do it myself, some wall design, right? Another features from the Age magazine, right? This is some of the crossover projects with Nuka direct. It's basically my super compositions of the works there, right? This is my office, kind of what we call that areas there. My workstations before. I'm actually one of the supervisors for my illustration department there, right, at times. So this is basically my kind of world there before that. A lot of chaotic there, a lot of monsters there, till now. But I less do it that way. So I'm more enjoying teaching than sharing that. But this is some other thing that's quite fun for me to explore there at the time. Digital paintings, but on canvas I bring up. So this is something that I've done personally. Like, this is also one of the features from one of the international sticker magazine directly. Sticker bomb directly, 2010. So this is one of my contributions of one of the personal kind of exhibition projects. Um, I think in the Canada directly. The works that I've been working is this one. It's quite small there. It's one of the and this two. I have another one that the other way. But they actually create a very characters kind of communities there from around the world that I think to participate this kind of program that I think. So some of my canvas works, digital kind of work there. This is basically what we call that is some of my old workstations there. Green on canvas. This is one of the process that we did for one of the wall at Sarvijaya there. Before they turn over into magic directly. It's all magic trolls there, magic trolls there. But I've been paid that, right? I've been paid directly to do this kind of works. But they turn out, they turn over this kind of projects directly. After we complete, we have been paid. I think 1 year after that, right? Magic take it into magic. So I do some experiment there. Some of the wall, the last wall, I think. Oh, this is not the last wall that I actually did for one of the commissions works. To enjoy myself that way. Do something that actually right worth it for you, and some of the work that you're playing around, people will get noticed and also they start to ask for the commissions there. Right. So those are the things, right? I'm starting all these kind of works by saying, I just want to grow, so I want to develop myself, I want to find a unique kind of approach on my works there. I want to make something different there, okay? Beyond what I did for the commercials, and also doing some for some of the organizations that I worked before. I want to find some of the access that people can recognize me from what I do, but in different kind of way there. Those are the things that I've done for this work there. So I start to do more research by draw a lot, practice and practice, until there is a certain kind of time that I find that I feel bored about it. And I don't know where to go from there. Because there's really one stage basically, right? You need actually someone actually can manage you. Cannot find the right kind of people that can manage my works. Even though friend, even though our closest one there, right? They don't even understand how to manage they don't know how to take advantage and make a profit from what I do. I know my own kind of way to make profit out of it, but I cannot manage them, right? Okay? Because you cannot actually do the work and manage at the same time. Maybe you can, but not in the serious one there, right? You have to take serious on your kind of works there. If you have to take serious on your kind of progress of creative kind of works, you have to find or you have to pay or you have to hire someone who want to manage you, who can manage your works there. Manage, there's a lot of things there. Manage your routine kind of works there, jobs, clients, calls, directions there, right? Okay, all those kind of things. The management, lah. PA, personal kind of assistant there. Right? I cannot find. There's a lot of people approach, but they don't dare basically, right? Because I always, if you really know me basically, okay, from outside, okay, I always play jokes there. Even though I take serious, but I'm taking jokes seriously there. But when it comes to works, there's a certain kind of quality that we have to meet quality there, okay? That means, like I said before, if you don't really have times to complete your works, make sure you're presenting works the right way. It doesn't have to be complete, it has to be presentable there, right? It has to be presentable there. So if you cannot actually learn to present your works well, even though you don't finish them, right? You not complete them right, there will be problem a lot with your part. Okay, so remember, make sure you know and learn to present your works well, even though you not complete them. Right? Remember that. Leave the past, move forward directly. Forget about all those shit behind there. Right. So for me, all the work that I've done is not enough. They're never enough already. You have to grow and grow and grow there. You have to enjoy, but you have to know also how to make profit, make money out of it. Okay? Those are the things. This is some of my demonstrations before when I was at in our lab, right, in our campus in digital illustrations. I'm just experiment with the graffiti spray paint kind of styles, okay, in these illustrations there, but using digital media there. Okay, this is some of my color pencils, experimental kind of drawings using watercolors combined together there. Some of my acrylic kind of works, some of my drawings there. Some manual traditionally, some of my sketchbooks there. This is from my sketchbooks that I combined with some composition for the text there, right? For the titles there. There's some watercolors kind of drawings, paintings, sketches, some doodles. This is my doodles. This is my friend doodles there. Right? This is combination with my friend doodles there, right? So using different kind of approach, right? So this is some of my watercolors kind of works that became this one directly. Can you see this one? This is some of my. I'm not trying to promote my product, but I want to show you guys that I'm talk to talk, walk to walk, right? Okay? I'm not tell all this BS thing for you guys there because you guys, my students, I want you guys to be inspired there. Okay. Okay. Those are basically the digital kind of versions that I improvise a bit from this one, right? You see that, right? So basically, right, the journey is very fun there. I really enjoy, I really miss them up. This is basically, I think this is one of the last kind of wall design that I created in 2017 directly for EM Agile ZBC kind of like to hold information me on this, do this kind of things there. And I don't care about how many likes that I have. I don't care about it. Okay? I don't care about it. Okay? If you care about all those likes, all those kind of tensions there, okay, I don't care. Just put whatever that I think there, okay. If people want to feel differently, up to them. I never take serious there. People take serious because they actually find that they kind of offensive. Right? I don't care. Okay. So remember there's something there. Okay? Social media is a part of us way to promote it, okay? To promote ourselves there. Bad, good way, up to you. Right? A lot of business kind of millionaire nowadays also social media influencers, they're doing the same thing. They put all those kind of propaganda kind of things, provoke kind of things just to sell the product. I'm also the same thing. I promote myself directly. Right? Is some of the products basically you guys can get from here. Right? Creative United directly. Right. This is some of the things, some of the I'm using photographies. This is actually when I was at Sabah directly. Sabah, yeah, Sabah directly. I go to one of the areas there. I saw this kind of nice kind of formations of shapes of the sand and reef there. I shoot them up using only my phones. Then I go back and just create one of the simple works there. Okay, you can do more than that, okay? But just playing around there. Most of work is playing there. I never take serious there, but I'm seriously doing that by playing. Okay. Lately, I didn't actually post a lot of the books because most of them, even though from my personal kind of developments or progress already, is quite personal and private and confidential there. So I cannot actually what we call that easily basically show directly. But most of it is basically from the previous one. Right? Sketches. This is why my old sketches there, right? I've done before. This is my old sketches that I did previously from what we call that my previous what college kind of work when I was studying there. This is one of my earliest digital illustration classes, right? How to draw. Right? Basically, you guys have whatever that I show you guys this semester, you guys can apply that for digital illustration. You just have to push a bit more. Okay? Don't wait. Don't act yourself just want to spoon feed all the time. You have to search for those skills. You have to search your inner self afterwards. Right? This is my playing around with my friend there actually. He's good at the ZBrush. This is one of my colleagues there. My friends basically right my old kind of college buddies there. He's now teaching at the UniKL, University in Kuala Lumpur. He's doing a lot of this 3D kind of stuff there. Right? This is some of my drawings, sketches there. some cartoon doodles there, right? This is some 3D kind of animations, kind of projects that I did for the companies there. Back in the days, my drawings, children's drawings there, right, with my kids' drawings, I combine them together. This is one of the our wet media kind of subjects there, okay? With some of my demonstrations that I did before. Okay. So just have fun, like even though this drawing doesn't look right. I really hate these drawings there. But it's a part of the process, okay, of the work. So I just put it in my social medias there. That's why I say don't. This is a little bit more like shapes there, right? And silhouette there, right? And experiment with some of the colors there. This one basically, right? You can see the horse, right? This is someone actually spilled the water in our classrooms. So I just draw like two horses over here using water, right? Be creative there, right? Those are the things. I want you guys to be creative there, to find different kind of options to work. Don't just rely on only one or two options there. Then you have the, what we call that, the creative blocks there. Typographies, using watercolors there. Okay. These are some of my simple demonstrations there, right? Previously. Yeah. Some of my things in sketchbooks there. Right? This is some of the, it's like I showed you guys before, how to draw anime styles. Right? It's based on reference. Right? Basically based on one of the photos. And I actually changed them back into character styles there, anime, manga kind of stuff there. Some of my sketchbooks there. More detailed illustrations works. This is all sketches there that I actually show and also demonstrate for the students there. For the students there back in the days. There's some of the brushes. And if you think, oh, there's a lot of work there, okay? I've done more. You want to be good at what you do, you have to be the best. You have to work like the best. And work as best as you can. Okay? Some of the experiment on the wet media there, right? Okay? Spontaneously without sketches there, right? Some gesture fine. Okay. But this one using digitals there, right? I just combine them together there. Right? So some of the works, okay, the graphic design that I create for one of the animated series there. This is some of my research sketches, my scrapbooks there. Right? This is from my scrapbooks there. Okay? Whatever that I think that I want to practice and draw, I just put it over there. Okay. Some of all works there. Right? So you have fun with it. Alright guys? That's it. So if you think that you cannot draw, right? Draw the thing that you want and you can. But make sure you have the mind, that you have to set your mind, you want to change. You want to change the way that you want to draw. Right? You want to be good at what you do there. You learn the same knowledge there. Everyone have given the same kind of understanding there. And how you're going to search yourself, up to you. Okay? Any questions? Any questions there? Anything else? You want to share? Inquiries? No. I always hate directly, no hate directly. Worry directly. But normally when you say no, there is yes. But you don't know directly what to ask them. Right? We have a very casual sessions all the time, right? So today, ask me any questions then. Anything else there, okay? They're not related also, I'm good with it. Anything there, right? Treat me as a friend. We have more time here. Or you want to dismiss earlier? Come on, all right. Because the sessions have to be shared, right? The consultations, right? Uh, Maybe. I have question right. Ying Chi. Where's your face there? How are you? Me. I'm good. I'm good there, okay? That's what I said, okay? Don't take serious on the Facebook status. Right. If you take serious on the social media, then right, okay, you're not going to be growth there. Okay? Social media is an amusement park there, okay? It's a playground for the modern kind of errors there. Don't believe everything on social media. Okay, a lot of people try to provoke something. A lot of people try to do something that can actually maybe attention seekers there. Okay, but I'm not that kind of person. I just want to experiment. Okay, because when I actually post some of the works before already, my works already lately, I find out that okay, that I know basically some people who actually knowing me or knowing us directly, but they actually have this certain kind of feeling that they don't actually like us. For me, most of my friends, okay, that I don't want to mention that I know, not my friend, but the one that actually I know that okay, in real life. This is normal thing happens all people. Okay? They have this certain kind of theory directly about you. I'm not saying that I don't want to put my works on social media anymore. Like I will put like depending on the situation because I don't want to show only progress sometimes. I don't like to show off there, but I like to share. Okay, that can give benefit to other people there. Right? Those are the things that I felt that I have that responsible at this time at this stage there because there's a few years basically okay that I actually talked to some of my friends again. Don't put a lot of your personal things right in those social media, especially pictures, because wife or kids, family, there are a lot of people do this kind of thing, right? Maybe because they want to create an album, right, okay, for their social media. For me, okay, okay. But there's one point, if something happens there, okay, like I have one friend, okay, hopefully he doesn't actually like. This is a good friend of mine, right? When he actually lost his wife, he's lost his wife. He's really have a strong attachment with his wife. Things for his wife. I'm okay with it, but the problem is if we actually show ourselves a lot personally in social media, sometimes I'm afraid that we cannot actually handling the loss situations. Okay? If you lost your works, okay, right? I don't care, right? Yeah, I can grow more, right? Maybe, right? You lost your families and you show them all these kind of intimidations, okay? or maybe right, sometimes people cannot move on. You have to move on directly. I'm experimenting this kind of things there, right? I just want to have fun with it. I just have fun with it. Those sort of things. And the other thing is, some people actually, right, just want to show off how many kids they have, how happy his family is, for example, like what he do for his kids, okay, his kid doing for him, right, okay, all these kind of things, good. If you share only for your families, I used that one before. Most of things that I show in my family, what we call the family kind of folders, just to what we call that, get connected with some of my family members who actually I rarely can see them, what we call that in years, or sometimes okay, because we want to have this kind of update of what the family have done there, okay, the program that we have. But after I find out that some of my pictures there have been lost, have been missing there, okay, I don't know why. Maybe Facebook or some of the virus, some of the hacking, I don't know directly. But I start to take all those pictures there from this Facebook there. Right? I just leave my work there and a few kind of updates basically what I do theoretically or something, but not that serious there. Because yeah, as the social media kind of users that you have to keep updated. If you don't have any content at that time, so right now I'm actually too busy with you guys, with the students there, so I don't have any update right there. So I just update a few things. So few days basically writing, uh, try to update some of the. I want to try to update some of the emotional kind of things. Just want to experiment there writing. Suddenly people take more attention, more serious on that. Right. Because I didn't actually put anything right. I didn't attack anyone there, right? You see that? Am I actually attack anyone there? No, right? I just randomly, because hopefully I'm not actually hope that, but yes, if someone actually read them up, if there is someone actually felt the same things, hopefully they can change. That's all. You have to know your mistakes. I know my own mistakes a lot. I I always thought, but I have to, but I also learn myself. I learn basically to defend myself at the same time. Not defensively, but defend myself to protect my own priorities there. Okay, those sort of things. So for me, it's a few kind of what, a few days kind of what we call that updates just to see what actually people will respond from there. Sometimes there's a few people who actually never actually uh, respond to your what we call that post, suddenly have those intentions there. But most of them actually he's active kind of members, right? Okay, those are the things, right? There's nothing serious, right? There's nothing serious about it, right? Because whatever things that I actually have experienced before, okay, in a personal life, okay, for me, I try to teach myself to lose whatever that I think worth it, okay? And hopefully, with the gut wheels, basically, right, with the gut wheels, you can survive in this world as well, right? Nothing serious about it, right? I just playing with some emotions, that kind of thing. This is really fun to do because right, it's not a psycho kind of thing that everyone basically is psycho there. You see that, right? Some people say a psycho, right? Or whatever, right? A psycho thing. If you actually right put your selfie every time, you also quite you have a mind kind of problems, you know. Or if you cannot actually right, you want to seek for attention, or maybe if you want to become a social media kind of users, but you cannot actually right handling. Some people actually doesn't like your works. They will say, "Oh, why you actually do like that?" Right? For example, okay, if you cannot handle that kind of simple situations, you're also psycho, right? Because social media, right, you not interact with them, people don't actually attack you directly, for example, to put names, why you have to be afraid, right? Is it true? Only people know that they actually doing wrong, they will actually figure about it, right? Maybe lah. But for me, I just want to spread a positive kind of what we call that captions or informations or status that people can think a bit, right? Think back again, okay? Whether they actually do the same thing or not. That's all. But as a woman or man, basically right thing, you have to think back again, right? We have to spread out the more positive kind of things. I never post any kind of stupid politics kind of issue, right? You saw on my social media. I don't care about it. Right? For me, politics is all games. The same. It's a games there. People who join politics who can make profit out of it, it's good. If you just join politics just to put in your social media, you want to against all these kind of systems, and you're not making profit out of it, you're stupid. Not you lah, right? Not you, right? Right. Because why? Because why you have to fight for all this kind of system, but you still actually can live in this world freely, right? Right. Let them fight there, okay? You do your own business there, make a lot of money there, okay? Work hard there, okay? Focus on the studies, okay? Draw more there, okay? All this kind of shit stuff there, okay? Don't take serious there. But when it comes to fight your own rights, you have to be there. If people make something that offends your country, your kind of families, okay, your kind of what we call that positions, your priorities, you have to fight. You have to find a way to cover and fight yourself. That's why. That's how actually you do. Okay? That's right. Yeah. Anything else? All right. Anything else then? This is one of my friend who actually right. He's a teacher, a school teacher. He's one of my best. He is the one who had to teach me Adobe Flash, Macromedia Flash. He's the one. This is the guy. Okay, I just want to show you guys today. Okay. This guy, this boy, this man, okay, boy, man, okay, man, boy, maybe, okay. He's one of the multimedia kind of alumni. Maybe he has graduated, but he has this kind of disorder, kind of mental kind of disorder, kind of what we call that situations. Okay. So he has a very what we call that what we call that, right? Okay, for the one of the kids, one of the uh, situation they have that. So he has a mental kind of disorder, lah, okay. But he managed to develop his drawing skills. Right? I met him when I actually with my friend at the times, been invited to promote a toy shops at Cyberjaya. Okay? So we met him first times at that event because he the one actually want to make some sort of exposure, okay? Because normally this kind of person doesn't like a lot of people there. So when he actually meet us also, right, I'm actually really wacky kind of guy that okay, outside there I have to talk all this kind of sometimes I love to talk all this kind of nonsense there, okay, and make jokes out of it, okay. And suddenly this guy can click with us, can click with us there, okay. He said that he always think that he always alone, right? He felt that no one actually understand about him or whatever things that okay that he felt that okay that as that kind of person have this kind of mental kind of situations. I told him when we actually having some laksa directly, that kind of areas, that's a normal lah. I think. Yeah, he said yes. All artists actually going to feel that way. Is it really? He said, yes. He never thought like that. Okay. I said to him, okay. I say to him, I say to him that uh, all artists are going to feel the same thing, okay? We actually have our zone or the chance where people will think we actually weird, okay? Some people think that we have mental kind of things, okay? If artists doesn't have that kind of feeling, they are not artists directly. But you have to control, you have to know where you can bring all those kind of stuff together for your works there. You have to be imaginarily train yourself to develop this kind of feeling there. Otherwise, you cannot actually fantasize about all this kind of great stuff for your works. Told him. Then at that stage, he know basically he's not alone, that he start to click with us. And he joined us for those caricatures kind of event a lot. And I already told, okay, whatever that I talked to him, okay, I know basically how to bear. Okay, I also afraid with this kind of person that sometimes, okay, if I push a little bit to the limit, okay, because sometimes my jokes is really more kind of heavy there, okay. My kind of way of what we call that telling jokes but it all depends on the person. Like if the person can actually accept it, I'm okay with it. Because my kind of times, my kind of what we call that experience that I had before when I was like growing up there again, not bully lah, okay, because I actually been bullied, also I also bully people there, right? Those are vice versa. I always play this kind of role. People bully me, I bully back again. All this kind of thing, fight or whatever, right? Those are the things that happen, right? When people actually, right, always talk to me like, some people, like when I actually wearing spec, I wearing spec basically around my 40s there, but I have this kind of conditions that I have when I was like around secondary, primary schools there, okay. I have this kind of headache there, okay, in my head, okay, at the time there, okay. So the doctors asked me to get some sort of glasses, okay. My glasses is quite big, but no power there, okay, just to protect my eyes from the sunlight. I remember that, okay, people actually at my areas always go, hey, professor, professor, professor. Right? As a kid, you don't like this kind of thing there. If people ask you, I'll tell you that you like a Superman or Batman, or you like okay, you like that kind of things there, right? But if people actually try to, what we call that, try to call you something more like that nerd kind of things, you don't like it there, right? At the time, right? Okay? I try to train myself at the times to learn to fight back and to overcome all the situation by throwing also think also what are the things I can actually push them back, right? Okay? Like I will call also them with different kind of names there, right? Okay? Those are the things that but people have to accept, right? Okay? A lot of people cannot accept that they can actually do bad things about other people, but they can accept when people actually attack them back. Right. So I've learned all this kind of this is about life. Don't take seriously all the time. You have to control a bit more, and also learn to defend yourself. Right. Those are the things. People will stab you at the back a lot there. Right. Among our friends, maybe you guys also have this kind of thing happen, right? Don't take serious there. Don't take suicide, those kind of stupid things there, because we have this kind of situation with our students before. All right. I already saw it. I already not maybe my students there, but most of the students there, right? That I some of the students that I saw from the social media, right? They take all this kind of easy, kind of fast. Okay? For me, it's not that right. You kill yourself, for me, you go to hell. You go deep into hell directly. No matter what religion you have, belief that you have, remember that. So don't do this kind of stupid kind of things. That I warn you in this recording sessions there because I want you guys to be aware of that. Always find someone to talk. Like me, I can manage myself. Okay, if I actually doesn't feel good about it, I go to sleep and I go outside, right? Those other things, thinking more, listen to the musics, thinking more, right? And also find some friend to play jokes there, right? And some of the things that I do, I buy toys, right? Those are the things that I do. So, but I rarely actually do some skate kind of things there anymore because of PKP. Right, do something and activities that you like. Right, those are the things that I've done. Yeah, can go exercise there. I'm working out there, right? Right, my home also have this kind of things that I'm working out, right? But rarely nowadays I quite busy. I don't have time to jogging like this, so I do some simple workout, right? And eat. Those are the things that I will. For me, if I have my own kind of budget, like I will go to some of the place or eat the things that I want and I like. At my age, in my age right now, okay, it's hard for me to eat the same thing all the times. Maybe you can, okay, but if you want to eat something that tasty, like tasty. Those are the things that you want to eat something tasty, like. I love eating a lot. Okay. Eat. You ask me that, okay, McDonald's most every day, okay, every morning. Sometimes pizza, okay, I love pizza very much. Domino's nowadays. I've worked basically before at Pizza Hut, okay, when I was actually my first SPM there, okay, I taken twice there at SPM. It's my kids there. Today he's stay with me there, okay, but he stay with me basically for all this PKP time there, okay. Western food I like very much there, right? And also Malay food there, okay. Chinese food maybe nasi ayam there, okay. But make sure you halal, right? Uh, I like sushi there again very much. I love to eat there again, but I work out again moderately there because I have a very quite uh, what you call that. I have a very quite what you call that, sorry, hard gaining kind of what you call that body type there, right? But I've grown there again moderately there. But I try to grow more, but it's quite hard to discipline our eating kind of discipline there, okay? Those are the hardest part that I find because of the times before sometimes I have to choose the thing that I want to eat like. Right? So those are the things that I do. But yeah, keep yourself moderate. Okay, don't. For me, exercise directly. Exercise, you don't have to go to the gym all the time. There, okay? You can make your own gym. Okay, calisthenics there. I've done calisthenics, but not that quite good there. Okay, I do some push up, some squat, and I cannot manage myself to do those kind of body weight like things yet. Like it's quite hard. But I have to try several times, but there's no time sometimes. Like walking, jogging, Raki, I have to be a bit more like not too serious because my target is I want to gain more and more and more weight. That's all, right? So to reach okay, before this, okay, I just want to share with you guys because you don't want to like if you want to share some of the things there that I've done before 5 years back. because I start to train myself 5 years back. Okay, before that I never take serious there on eating a lot. Before 5 years back, right, my weight around, I think around 55 there only. 55 only, 55, 54, 55, 55. Never actually reached say 57 or 58 or 60 there. But after I train myself by eating and also do some few minor workout at the same times, I reached 62 without have any kind of, there's a natural kind of gaining there, natural gaining there. No supplement there, okay? No supplement there. Because I know my age there, okay? My age at that time. So I have to be more realistic there, okay? Because you guys, at your age right now, I think 18, 19, 20, there, okay? It's a very good age if you can actually build your routine there. But my own routines, because I developed my discipline of workout from martial arts there. I take it taekwondo, but I never finished that because time directly. I really love martial arts, but I don't have time directly. I love them since I was kid directly because of Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Van Damme, Chuck Norris, okay, all those kind of movie stuff directly. But I love Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee very much directly. They will influence me a lot in terms of those martial arts. Even though Jackie Chan is not martial artist, there is a stuntman, right? So all this kind of boy kind of stuff like martial arts stuff, I love it very much there. But I never, but the routine, the stretching that I actually learned from that discipline, I still doing that stretching already until this day. Like split or whatever it is, I still do that, right? But 5 years back, I start to gain. I train myself there. Okay? It's quite hard. Okay? I know that okay, we've got hard gainers like me, they take sometimes 10 years, but consistently there, okay, with the supplement, everything. But I try to do more natural there. Okay? I take one supplement there, but I find out only 1 kilos they actually can gain. Right? The thing that can gain more if I eat more rice. Rice, beans there. At times. And eat roti canai or whatever, right? But it's quite hard. It's quite hard already because we have to consistently, okay, every 2 hours eating the okay, some of this minor, small kind of things. It's hard. Right? This is basically for me. I know basically my body there, okay. But the thing is, I never smoke. 90% of my friends smoke there. 90% there. I was born and raised in KL. I'm proud to be. I never actually write. I never actually like go into that area. I never smoke. Not I hate it, but I don't want to go from there. I never put myself there. Why? You burn your money on your cigarettes there. I would burn my money on food there. I would spend my money, right, to enjoy food more rather than cigarettes there. But if you guys actually smokers, it's your choice. But think about it. It's not worth it there. If you think that you want to take some of the pills, some drugs to ease your mind, bullshit. Right? To ease your mind, go to sleep and face the problems there. That's all. Whatever it is, you have to face the problem, but in the right way. Find people there that can advise you in the right way, but don't talk to every people there. Not all people can become your friends. Sometimes your friends become enemies there. Sometimes your enemy become friends. It's a weird thing out there, right? But never trust 100%. Right? Those are things that I can share. This is more like a more like a, what do you call it? Like more like a talking sessions. But I want to share, right? Previously, basically, what we should do with your works there. Okay, those are things for the sessions here. I think demos enough demo there, right? Enough demos there, because you have to learn All right. From now on, to search yourself. Those are the things there. You see, a lot of people always want to do all these kind of things, right? But remember that if you want to keep Facebook and everything cool, I never tweet. Just don't take these social media things. All right. Have fun with it more. Okay. All right. People normally, obviously, sometimes, if you know people for so many years, also like they won't be able to go inside our mind. That's the saddest thing sometimes. That's the reality. Even I have a few of my friends who actually know me more than 10 years, but they don't even, people always underestimate the friendships. Those are the saddest things, right? So maybe I put that things because I think about all this kind of stuff, right? For some people there, right? Maybe, right? But I didn't actually affect people there, right? Up to them, there, right? Because there's a lot of silence, kind of what we call that fan in our social media. That they never like our works, they never actually respond to us, but they always follow us there, right? They remember that. Maybe you guys also have that. Maybe I'm also one of your silence followers there. You never know that, right? Right. Okay? But tell the truth. Be truthful to yourself there. So that's the key things there. You never think to hide again. You don't have to hide anything there. Right? People need to understand and know what you've been thinking there. If they can accept the truth, good. If you can't, you the one who have problems. Right? Not the person who actually posts them. Right? Remember that, guys, huh? All right. Anything else there? Idina, Patricia, right? Jinbao, Hong Yi, Wei. I don't see any chasing over here today. Are you here chasing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Eugene, how is it? Your bone there, right? Your backbone, yeah. Oh, there you go.
You missed my assignment?
What time is it? Oh, 3:46, 49. Yes, of course, your assignments.
Still in progress, haven't done yet.
All right. Haven't done yet, yeah, but still in progress.
Yeah.
Which one there, right? Which one is it, okay? Haven't done yet, but still in progress. I cannot actually digest it, okay? Maybe in the progress in your mind only, like, I have never put in those papers on your sketchbooks there. Say hi, say hi, say hi, say hi. Hi. Bye bye, Steve. This guy is 4. His name is Yusuf. You see? There is something okay between us. Big ears. Right. Alright. Silly about that. Okay, guys, remember that, okay? We have another 1 week more, okay? Make sure you can complete by this week. And make sure that you guys will actually post the work progressively right here. Before you submit your videos right here, okay? Everyone should post a 10-minute video presentations next week. If you don't submit those videos, even though I'm taking those attendance, I'm going to be assumed that you are not here. Why? Because there is no proof of your works. Okay? So those are the things that you should be concerned at. Right? Normally in lecturing class, at this stage, they won't actually count a lot of your presence there. Right? But I already record that, right? So basically, we can see there is around 126 just now, right? Maybe 125 or 4 students there, right? That actually have joined us. So lecture class is there's not actually taking too serious on the attendance there. But practical class there, no matter what you do, right? You have to attend that until week 14 there, right? Even though some of the rules you might going to be have heard or maybe read before, noticed before there, right? Normally until week 10, they actually send you about this there, right? But after week 10, you guys can do whatever you want. It's wrong. Because a lot of people think that, okay, week 10, we can actually don't have to go to the class, we don't have to excuse anyone, right? Or inform our lecturers, right? The problem is when actually you want to submit your final works there, when we call your names, you're not in, right? And when we actually look into your submission also, you haven't actually informed us, right? That you actually have submit. Remember, okay, you have around, we got around, you guys had is 100 by 1 there, okay? You're only 1% there. So you have to be informed us, whatever situation that you have on week 14. Otherwise, in week 15, we are going to close our submissions and we have to submit all the marks together there, right? Okay? So it will be a lot of issues later on. Okay? Junlong, you say Junlong? It's a lot of people there, okay? But don't take serious now. Okay? And don't take kind of what we call that personal if I don't call or put your names inside, right? At least it's right. Junlong is here. Right. Yes. Questions there. How is it your works there, right? Okay. Okay, don't take too serious there, right? On the attendance over here. Because normally, right, we are going to take more serious on the basically on your practical attendance there. Practical don't skip if you still exist, right? Because if you skip practicals, there are going to be a lot of troubles there normally. Okay, because this is basically only for my record, which is I actually have take and also create also my sessions, okay, for the system. And then the other thing is I already record the sessions for us there, here. Okay, then I upload in our Facebook there, in our what we call that YouTube there, right? But the thing is that you have to be aware is what we call that your existence, okay, during the practical class. All right, I remind you guys, if you have difficulties, inform us, not me only, every lecturer there, okay? If you have the problems there, inform formally using the, what do you call that? Note, I would call that formal letters, digitize them, right? And you guys also can use WhatsApp directly, because I have one what we call the situation that I have, and I really thank that we have Google Classrooms. I think I've told you guys before. This person actually didn't came to my practical class in last final weeks, but did not bring the works there, and suddenly ready. And a chance there. Rain actually all over the place already in our studios there. So you actually came to the class, but you don't actually present your works. How actually I'm going to evaluate them? Can you think that logic? Right. So if you have this kind of situations, what do you want to do? What you want me to do? Just give the marks because of that? I can't. Right. So I asked her to go back. And some people who cannot came here today, for example, there's a few students actually cannot came because of this health situations. I told them, okay, you can come on another day. But you, the one which actually came in here earlier, but you don't bring your works, by right, you can go back to your campus or to your hostel to get back your works there. You didn't come back. I really scold that person that I had a chance there. I scold that person that I had a chance there. But I scold them not because I hate them. Because I treat you guys like a kids there, like my children there, like my siblings or sisters, brothers there, okay? Because my responsibility to make sure that you actually submit the works there. Don't take for granted that day. I really does like to show my evil kind of side there, I think, especially on presentations. Because not nice. It's not going to be look good. If I give you guys a chance, take it seriously. Okay? Those sort of things. Like I say, I can joke around, I can think around, but it comes to works or serious situations that I have to be responsible, take serious on that. A lot of people make mistakes with that. Because when it comes to do the works, I don't care who you are. Even though you are actually my girlfriend, for example, I will tell you because of your mistakes. Because if I do mistakes, so the same people will owe me. Right? Right? Because we have to do this professional kind of things. Okay? There's no personal step. Whatever that we actually want to, because for your own good. Whatever that we actually ask you to do is for your own good, not for us there. We have been paid, we have been, what we call it, actually have been, what we call that, been hired there, okay, to teach, guide you guys. Okay? So, if you don't take serious on your works, if you cannot remind you guys, right? I don't think that your parents can do the same. Why? Because your parents doesn't know what you're doing there. And this person basically from Sabah. So what I did, right? I told this person directly, okay, give me your parents' number. I will call his parent or her parents and do it. I will show videos about the laziness, right? And I will talk to the parents what basically you do. Right? I'm not threatening, but I have to tell the truth there. I'm here basically, right, push myself to guide you, to share with you. But if you don't put serious on the works, you're playing around with it, and you accept you want to get through with it, ask yourself that again, is it worth it or not? I have to be fair with all your friends. We have around 154, 56 students maybe there, right here. I have to be fair for each of you there. Fair means, right, okay, you do your works, you get those marks there. If you actually close to me or her, it doesn't mean you can get A if your work sucks. Okay? Remember that. If your work sucks there, okay, you don't put commitments there, but you close to me there, okay, you're really close to me, you become my friends, right? I didn't buy that. I'm actually a hard seller there. with the terms like that. Don't think that you're actually close to me, you can buy me there. You can bribe me. Okay? Remember that. If you work well, yeah, because I've also been treating, people treat me also like that. I do the works according to the skills. If I think that work is not worth it to pay at this stage, maybe they're okay. But if they can accept it, right. But if not, I won't take those kind of works there. I won't take those money there. If I take also, if I feel guilty, will not feel good about it. Unless that person actually quite lazy there, right? Okay? Don't care lah. Like, whatever they want with the works there, okay? Or you get the money there, okay? That kind of attitude there, okay? You have to know the situation, how to handle that at the same time. Alright, guys. So hopefully you guys understand a bit, right, what you're actually going to face in the future there. Hopefully that if you guys meet me in the future there. So even though if I'm not teaching you guys, but maybe I'm going to be around as a supervisor or look at the works on your presentations. For example, I can give the marks for project, final year project, okay? You should expect what I do. You should expect what I want. You see, not only the looks of the presentation there, right? Your works come first. Our works is our pride, right? These are the things, not your dress, not your looks there, but the works, your works show your pride there, right? Those are the things. You cannot show off your money, whatever things that you have, just to make people respect you. No. But some people like that, right? But show your works there. That will give more pride and confidence to present yourself. Okay? Okay, guys. So if you don't have any questions, good luck. And also all the best. I'll meet you guys, okay, in, what do you call that? In our next practical class then. Okay. And for group 1, you guys want to meet me tomorrow there, right? 4 o'clock, is it? Jesse?
Yes,
4 o'clock, right? Tomorrow?
I think should be
Is it
fine.
okay? Alright, 4 o'clock, okay. So 4 o'clock tomorrow, okay, we're going to meet up, okay, for in advance for practical class for group 1. And because I have to attend also, or because we have to change because I have to attend the physical class, okay, for Wednesday classes, okay, the whole day until 6 o'clock. Okay. So thank you very much basically for making me some changes for them, because hopefully they can be flexibilize also your way of what we call that, your works there. Okay. So thank you very much again, right, for listening to my boring kind of what we call that sessions here. All right. And I hope you guys can learn something from there, and also can get more kind of information to go through with it with your courses there. Okay. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Good luck with your assignment, all your assignments there, and take serious on your studies there. Okay. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye bye.